I love the way we do ass now. Shout out to the team. Nah, for real though. I'm really sure. Like I really want them to like. I'm gonna get a plan because I want to do playback on the road. And you know, if I got the 5G, you know, nationwide, I can do it at any time. Because people like low talking. Yeah, I was segueing into something. You little fat fucker.
Oh! Wow. That's what we doing now, Teague. Damn, we calling each other out our names. Damn, bro. We brothers, dog. Gotta go to the name calling. Fat fucker is crazy. Fat fucker is crazy. Let me hear.
What a segue. Yeah, I told you I could be me. I want to get on playback with Low, his little chubby ass. Pause. We gonna talk our shit because he got me fucked up.
But he did a breakdown basically saying like, just because you win in the East, just because you played against LeBron, bro, it don't mean you gonna go out west and do your thing.
I didn't say we would.
That wasn't really the premise of it. Okay, so let's go back a little bit. The initial concept of what was going on is that there was this belief that like, oh well, we lost like. I mean, I don't even know we got to the LeBron secondhand. It was first saying that he believed that his team would beat the Thunder. That's what it was establishing. And in pursuit of justifying it, he was saying that the only reason why we lost is because we lost to LeBron.
Yeah, he must be talking about my Hawks. Yeah, we definitely would have won a chip this year.
Damn.
Do you think y'all could have beat OKC?
Yeah.
Damn.
We played like them.
They got SGA.
Yeah, he wasn't Bron. We lost to Bron.
He ain't Bron, but
that's where it came from. You utilizing LeBron was a justification of believing that you would beat OKC. And so what I'm saying is a lot of the players back then believed that they would be able to compete with really anyone just because they lost to LeBron. But the truth of the matter is, as great as LeBron was, if his teams weren't good enough, he would go to the Western Finals and he would lose. So he lost to Dirk and them, he lost to the Spurs and them, he lost to obviously the Warriors and them. So just because you had like a really good team does not sit there and mean, or just because you lost to LeBron doesn't then give an immediate justification of why you think you would beat someone else, because there's other all-time great teams that also beat LeBron. So that was my assessment. But the original premise of what you were saying was that you believe that you could beat OKC. And I'm like 90% sure, if my memory jogs me correctly, you said that you would sweep them. You think the 2015 Hawks would sweep this year's Oklahoma City Thunder.
We will beat them, bro. We will beat them, bro.
I'm not saying y'all wouldn't be, but you saying like it'd be too easy.
It would, bro.
Nah,
the way we played, I just said that if we played that OKC team, we'd be all right. Yeah, because we play LeBron, and that if you can play LeBron, we got swept by LeBron, but I don't think nobody in the world is as good as LeBron that plays basketball right now.
Yeah.
And my point is, and LeBron was great, best in the world then, and I agree with him that LeBron, if he played right now, he would still be if that version of LeBron played right now, he would be the best player in the world. However, just because LeBron was on the team does not automatically mean you're going to win, because as great as LeBron was back then, he still lost. He lost in 2011, he lost in 2014, 2015, and he lost in 2017, 18. He lost. So as great as LeBron was, he still needed a team. So it's not just, oh, we lost to LeBron, and that's why it'll justify that we'll beat the all-time great OKC team. That makes no sense. None. Well, let's continue.
When he at that time.
Yeah, he took that way left and just put y'all in the game and was like, they beat y'all ass, bro.
I'm not the one who put him. What? No, I did not. I did not put them in it. Bro, whoa. I'm not the one who put y'all in the game. Y'all did. Nigga, he was literally saying that they'll pick and roll them to death. That's literally what he said. I didn't put them in the game. Y'all did.
Yeah, that's sweet. Al Horford and Hartenstein? What the fuck?
Hartenstein ain't bad.
Bro, man, with Al Horford, he's still playing. Al Horford, 43, he's still playing.
I'm not saying.
Shout out to the Islands, bro. But
Man,
Hartenstein will be there though.
It's not
pick and roll to
craftsmanship,
death,
bro.
man. We are pick and rolling him to death, bro.
Chet is a hell of an X factor, bro.
He is. He good.
Cheddar Paul Millsap.
Man, I would have took Paul every day on him.
Y'all did that. Y'all literally said, and when it came to Hartenstein, that Al Horford would beat Al Horford's better than Hartenstein. That's literally what y'all did. Y'all literally said y'all would pick and roll OKC to death. I didn't put y'all in a game with them. Y'all did. The fuck? I did not do that. I'm just responding to what y'all did. Don't try to absolve yourself from what y'all saying, bro. Come on now. Y'all said that. Just own it. Y'all did the hypothetical.
Yeah, people that can't play basketball, they usually do shit like that.
Respect.
I remember when you can't play it no more, you kind of coach it. When you never played it before, you talk about it.
Oh.
What is?
So, I didn't know he said all this. Now, he's right. I never, ever, ever played basketball at the same level as Jeff Teague. Never. Never coached it at the level of Jeff Teague either. Never. However, I do find it funny, kind of odd, that a nigga who's never played it, never coached it, certainly has never reached the heights than which you've reached. I do find it kind of crazy and odd that I was able to identify how good Haliburton was and you wasn't. Crazy. That is kind of crazy. Because with all that expertise, all those years, all those minutes, all that time coaching, you was the one who sat there and said that Hallie wouldn't take the last shot in the game. You said that.
Talk, bro.
That's a real talk.
Give me Trey Young. I'm rolling.
Easily though, landslide.
Trey Young.
It's a landslide?
Every
Hell
day.
yeah.
Give me Trey
Y'all
Young.
disrespectful.
I don't know if it's a landslide. I don't know if it's a landslide.
What you got?
What?
I don't know about it. Nah, I fuck with Hallie. Hallie nice, bro. It's not no landslide. I don't really mind if you go one way or another, but it ain't no landslide though. That's crazy.
Trey done more with less. What are you talking about?
For sure. He don't got
I'm not saying they not, but we talking about these are players that like, bro, they were new into the league.
Ain't no game where you see Trey Young gonna let Nembhard take the last shot.
Never.
Like never.
Bro, what is we talk? We talking about
Never.
last. I'm talking to Skip Bayless now. Fuck. We
I'm
talking about
just
last shot arguments. You were the one who sat there and said that there will be a bunch of players throughout NBA history that will be able to do the things that Hallie is doing on this team, despite the fact that Hallie is quite literally doing things that only 2 or 3 players in NBA history have ever done before. You said that. I ain't say that. You said that.
Nah, I mean,
Talk
if you
to
put
him.
a system around him where you got a pick and pop 5-man and the lane is wide open, any point guard, if you put any quality guard on that team, they're gonna have the same stat.
They gonna have 24 and 12 on 50,
Yes,
40,
Cap.
90 splits?
Yes, bro.
What the
That's
fuck
cap.
are we crazy? Now, this is not me saying that I know more than Jeff Teague. No. This is me acknowledging just because you played more than me at a higher level than me doesn't mean that you can't be wrong. And just like how you were wrong when you was assessing Hallie, my brother, I believe that you're wrong when you're assessing this OKC team in contrast to your team. And in all honesty, it's okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't really care. You should think that your team is going to beat them because you're a competitor. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But in the attempt to try to assess which team is better, if you came to the conclusion that Joe Johnson was averaging 25 points back then, well, that's just factually incorrect.
SGA scored way better than Joe Johnson.
Not way better.
He scored better.
He scored better though.
Barely. We ain't gonna foul. First of all, we never foul. We was the best defensive team. We didn't foul. We was top 10 in defense. We didn't foul. We didn't put people on the line.
No, but that 2014,
Especially
15,
y'all
Joe
beat
Johnson
him
wasn't
in
even
Brooklyn,
there though.
Yeah.
That's a
Joe
different
wasn't
Joe,
even
too.
there. That's
That
Kyle
ain't Atlanta
Korver.
Joe.
What do you mean?
2014, 15, Joe wasn't on your
He
team.
said they
We beat them. He was in
Joe
Brooklyn. We swept
was a
him.
different Joe than Joe in Atlanta. Bro.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
a
He
different
still
type
was
of
averaging 25.
Yeah, but it was just different, bro.
If in the attempt of assessing who would win what, you came to the conclusion that John Wall was on the team when he played half of the series, then that would be incorrect. That's all.
What is your real analysis though on that though?
That if
Like,
you can't play basketball, you can talk about it. It's the truth.
Nah. It depends, but I'm talking about like the real matchup between you, SGA, Chet.
No, I don't think I'm better than SGA. What I'm saying is we were a team.
Yeah.
So we were a good team, and we played against really good players at that time.
But this is like peak gaslighting. B. Henson saying, "What is your real thoughts on it? What are your thoughts on it? I know the game is back, but I'm almost done. What are your real thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on it? He gave you your thoughts already. He said it. He quite literally said it. He said it already. Why are y'all acting like this wasn't something he said in the last video? He literally said that they would sweep them. He said that already. Stop acting as if like y'all didn't already have this conversation to make it seem like I'm the one who jumped out the window and start comparing the teams. I didn't do that. You did that. You compared a 33-year-old Joe Johnson to this version of Shea. You did that. You sat there and said that Otto Porter was killing it in his second year in the league. You did that. I didn't do that. You did that. Y'all were comparing teams. I didn't do that. And anybody who knows me knows that I don't blindly compare teams. I just do that shit because other people do it. I know for a fact I'm not going to sit here and blindly compare what was going on in 2015 to what's going on right now. That's what y'all did. I don't jump out the window and sit there and say, I did it. Y'all did that. I did not do that.
They're good. They're a great team, but their numbers historically are historical numbers, but they're not playing against what would you call the greatest players ever. We just said, us as a group said that our era was probably the greatest players ever, like a group of players.
Yeah.
Like obviously Michael Jordan and them, whoever they ranked, but our group of players at that time, most of them are top 75 that were good at that era.
That's a fact.
What do you think?
But the same thing can be said right now. Jokic is a top 75 player. Giannis is a top 75 player. Luka is going to go down as a top 75 player. AD, top 75 player. There's top 75 players in the league right now. What are you talking about? No, I'm not even going to say, we're not going to say Kawhi. We're not going to say Bron. We're not going to say KD because what they're going to say is they're older. So we're not going to use them. But to not acknowledge that they're not top 75 players in the league right now, one of which they literally beat to get to where they're at right now, does not make any sense to me. But if you want to believe that 2015 is a better era, which in my opinion, it's not, utilizing the handful of players that were at the top and believing that right there, it should be an indicator on how good the entire league is, I disagree. That was also an era of basketball where Marc Gasol can make first-team All-NBA. Marc Gasol, if he played in today's league, could not make first-team All-NBA. The center position was so bad that Marc Gasol and DeAndre Jordan were making first-team. That era wasn't as great as you're trying to make it seem, but that's okay because that's the era in which you grew up in. And so that makes sense. That's the era that you played in. So that makes sense. But no, every era has top 75 players. All of them do. But again, I want to be clear. You were not using top 75 players outside of Bron to make the justification. You use a 33-year-old Joe Johnson. He's not top 75. You use John Wall, who's not only not top 75, but didn't even finish the series. You used that. I didn't use that. You did. And as you already said, it was a team. A team. So the same way that as great as LeBron is, he was never going to be able to beat the team that is the Golden State Warriors. Because of that, it doesn't matter how great LeBron was individually. If he matched up with a team that was good enough to match up with them, then yes, he would have lost. And as a sidebar, just want everybody know, Shea right now is on the trajectory of being a top 75 player. The year he had this season is on par, if not better, than plenty of people who are top 75 all time. Plenty of them. That's the season in which Shea is having. And I think that's the part of the conversation that we're missing here. There are several players who are in the top 75 who never reached the heights of what Shea is doing right now. Right now. Y'all don't think they can beat like other all-time, like y'all not beat, but be on par with other all-time great teams?
Do you think they can beat
Like who?
the last OKC championship team that went to the championship?
2012? 2012? 2012?
Yeah. You think they can beat them?
Yeah, do I think I can beat them? Yes. Now, do I if I would have picked them? Probably not, but do I think they can? Yeah, they could. Like other 60-win teams.
No.
right?
No. The fact that I don't think that team was a 60-team win, and you struggling with the on that one.
No, that was a 60. It was a shortened season, but they were, you know what I'm saying, they had a winning percentage of a 60-win team. But like other 60-win team, like for example, the Hawks, 2015 Hawks. Who do you think will win?
That reminds me of something like them.
But who do you think will win though?
The Hawks. Wait, hold on. Wait, before I jump out the window, because I'm pretty sure Joe Johnson was on
You
that.
talking about the Hawks and OKC?
The 2015 Hawks. No, Joe Johnson wasn't there anymore. It was Teague,
Oh,
Kyle Korver.
damn. You said Joe Johnson not there. That's all I had to hear.
So Joe
That's all I had
Johnson.
to hear.
Oh,
That's all I had to hear. You said Joe Johnson not there.
so what about?
I mean, it
Paul
was like
Millsap?
Paul Millsap.
Yeah.
It was probably a bunch of them. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm taking them.
Damn, easily though.
I'm taking the nigga that got an MVP.
For facts. Easy.
Damn.
That means they got a dominant play over there. That group shit, that sounds good. That Project Pack teams, yeah, that's cool. Sounds amazing. Who's on the team just in case?
It
Who's on the team?
was Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, DeMarre Carroll.
No,
Al
wait, no.
Horford.
Low, start from the top of the list. Don't start from the bottom, nigga, because I heard the first couple names you said you want me to say. Start from the top, the players, the people that play in the game. All right, now go from the top.
All right, my bad.
Okay.
Paul Millsap, Al Horford, then Kyle Korver. Jeff Teague was an all-star that year. Jeff Teague and DeMarre Carroll. That's their starting five. Now, DeMarre is guarding Shea.
Oh my God. Good luck.
I think he's lying to me. They
No, he not. No, he not. That was that team.
That was that team.
what year? I couldn't have been in the NBA. No,
That was 2015.
Yo, this
I
2015.
was going, yeah. I was going. See, I was on the
Wait,
end.
what's-
I was in the media back then. That's when I was going through my shit with the BM.
Wait, what is it? The team is what? But back then, it wasn't that a good league in 2015 when they won 15.
No, wait, hold on, mate. Hold on. I gotta put my eyes on this team.
And that was a team.
The
Man,
fact
that whole team was a team
the fact that
project.
you said
That was a
gotta
team
be-
project?
That was a team project. They got an A on the science fair.
Damn. I just thought that was like I thought that was one of them ones. I thought they were
Did they go to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Elton
They
Brand.
did, but they got swept. They beat
Yeah, they should have got swept.
They beat a 33-year-old Joe Johnson in the first round. They beat John Wall in them, but John Wall only played half of the series.
Yeah.
And then they got swept by 2015 Bron with no Kyrie and no Kevin Love.
Oh, okay.
You got swept by them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With who? Who's out?
Kevin Love didn't play in that series. Kyrie played like half the series, excuse me.
You opened your mouth to ask us a question about
Gil. I didn't play the sport, so I was told I can't talk about this. So y'all two played the sport.
Hey, brother, whoever said anything with the Hawks, brother, listen, you have free reign to cook the fuck out them, okay?
Okay.
Right. Exactly.
I just wanted to know.
Cook their ass.
These niggas, hey, Low, these niggas probably had trouble cooking themselves in 5-on-5. Because I don't know who the starting five is at this point.
Like, I named them.
I'm looking at the names. I can't tell you who the starting five is.
It's All-Star Jeff Teague, and All-Star Kyle Korver, and All-Star Paul Millsap, and All-Star
Kyle Korver.
Yeah, Gil.
What do you mean All-Star Kyle Korver?
Kyle Korver was an All-Star.
It was that year, Gil.
No, the fuck
Gil, they all got an A. Gil, they all got an A on the project, so they just let them all be All-Stars that year.
They were all All-Stars that year.
Okay, this is not a real All-Star.
What do you mean? The league was so talented back then. He was an All-Star. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
He was an All-Star because they had 60 wins, not an All-Star because he was an actual good player. He averaged 13 points a game.
That's an All-Star, Low? 13
points, 4 assists. What All-Star he making?
I was told that they were going
to. He ain't making the rookie game with those stats.
Back then, though.
I averaged 18 to make my rookie sophomore game. He wouldn't make that goddamn game.
Damn.
He made it because of the 60 games they won. So that means they was number 1 in the East. So they pulled 3 players from this team?
First of all, Cal Korver replaces injured Dwayne Wade on the Eastern Conference All-Star team.
How many All-Stars?
So that's not a real All-Star? They had 4 All-Stars, yeah.
Oh, no, that ain't a real. They had 4 All-Stars on this team.
Dwayne Wade got hurt, so they added him.
Oh, I think Jeff Teague also replaced somebody, too. I could be.
I told you, that was a group.
Hold on.
They got an A on the side.
Oh, these are the low-budget replacement players. Oh, okay. This is a Make-A-Wish All-Star game.
Yeah.
Oh, these are Make-A-Wish players. Man, Lord, if you don't get this goddamn group out of here, man.
So the Hawks not gonna beat this year's Thunder. No.
They didn't beat the sorry ass Cavs.
Stop, man. Stop, bro.
It was LeBron and friends.
And they couldn't beat them.
But
it is Bron though.
Yeah, I know.
It was Bron by himself.
And friends.
Oh, so it takes a team. Okay, cool.
No, because they got Shea. They got Shea.
Like you have no Kevin Love and no Kyrie.
Yeah. Okay.